So this is my January TBR video. I know that it is the first week of January already. Right now I'm filming on Wednesday, the 5th. Is it the 5th? Is it Wednesday? I'm on vacation right now, so it's really hard to keep track of the days, but I think it's Wednesday. I wasn't planning on filming a January TBR because I didn't really want to be stuck to a TBR, but after picking out a bunch of books that I want to read in January, figured might as well now that I actually have a list of books that I want to read. So yeah. So the last couple of years I have started January by reading a Wheel of Time book, and this is the 3rd year, and I am reading book 5 of the Wheel of Time. The last few years I've I have read 2 books a year. Now I'm reading book 5. I don't know if that's gonna keep up, if I'm gonna stick with 2 books a year, or if it'll pick up. I know that Bedtime Bookworm, the channel, is doing read along for the Wheel of Time starting this month, I think, starting with book 1. So maybe when that read along catches up to where I'm at, it'll motivate me to continue reading the books like one after the other rather than taking breaks, but who knows? I don't know. Usually when I finish a book I need to take a break because I want to read other things, and I can only handle so much of the Wheel of Time at once. It's not my favorite series. There are things that I really like about it and then things that I don't, and I said that a few times already in some past videos. I would like to read them at a faster pace. I don't really want it to take me 7 years to read all of the books, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then I'm also reading Pushing Ice, which is a book that I started earlier this year. I read a little less than half of it before. I've read a little bit the last few days, and I'm now officially halfway through. I would love to actually finish this book this month. It would be great. I do want to know what happens. There are things that I don't like about this book, certain characters and their choices that irk me, but I would really like to push past that and get to the cool sci-fi elements of it, which are really, really interesting. I really like what's happening there. If you don't know, Pushing Ice is about this ship that has a crew on it. Their primary job is to mine ice on meteoroids, and this event happens where one of Saturn's moons has broken away from orbit and has turned out to be some kind of alien machine, and they are the closest ones to it and the only ones sort of able to follow it because it's moving out of the galaxy. It's moving away basically, and they're the closest ones to it, and they're being tasked with following it and like investigating before it leaves the solar system. Now I am also reading a couple of ebooks that I rented through my library. I've been getting more and more used to reading ebooks. I'm warming up to it more and more, although I still prefer physical books. But the books that I'm reading from my library are The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and I am 59 pages into that. So about like 10%, a little over 10% of the way through, I think. And then I've also rented Portable Black Magic by Ran Walker, which is a self-pub book, and that is a collection of short stories. I rented that because I needed a break from everything else, even though I am in the middle of so many different things. I just kind of spontaneously rented it, and I do want to read that as well. It's short stories, so it shouldn't be that hard to get through. I did read another collection of short stories by him that was 50-word short stories, which was pretty interesting, and I did enjoy that. Those are all the books that I'm currently reading. So that's 4 books that I am currently reading. And that should be enough for January, but obviously it's not. There's also City of Stairs. I haven't started it. I just picked it up today from the library because they're doing a library to go service. This is a buddy read for Shelf Space. Yes, the one hosted by or run by Jessie May. I'm pretty sure, and so I decided I would pick it up. It sounded like an interesting story, and I would like to participate in more buddy reads and like read-alongs and stuff like that. Follow along just to be a part of the community a little bit more. We'll see how that goes. And then another channel that I follow, Alicia, she has started a readathon where the point is to go through your backlog of books that are already on your shelf. She calls it a shop your shelf read along or readathon. So each month has prompts, and the prompt for January was to read the longest book on your TBR. There are 2 prompts a month, and then the other prompt was to read a book outside of your preferred genre. I picked Memoirs of Cleopatra that fits both prompts because it is the longest book on my TBR. It's been on my shelf the longest for the most part. There are a couple of things that I got around the same time, and it's historical fiction, which I don't read very often, so yeah. I don't know if I'm actually gonna read this just because I have so many other things and this is so big, but I don't really care if it like bleeds into February. I'm just gonna put it out on this stack of books. I just like to have a stack of books separate from my TBR shelf to reach to when I want to read something, so I'm not just staring at all of the books being overwhelmed. So if I need to pick something up, I'll pick it up from this stack instead of that stack. And then I have a couple other books that I'm keeping in the stack. I don't anticipate I'm gonna have time to get to them, but they're sort of rollovers from what I wanted to read in December, and that is Baron and Luthien, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, Baron Luthien by Tolkien, and then Rusalka by C.J. Cherryh. These are rollovers from the stack that I had picked out for the Clear Your Shit Readathon, which has a similar premise to the Shop Your Shelf Readathon. The idea is to go through all of the books that you own and try and reduce the number of books on your shelf. I did okay with that readathon. It was pretty substantial. There were 26 prompts. It was supposed to be over 3 months, and I only participated for 2 months. I did read 8 books for that readathon, so not bad. But there were a few that I had pulled off my shelf. I would like to read them, so I'm keeping them off and I'm not putting them back on my TBR shelf. So yeah, that's a nice hefty stack of books. I don't know if you can see it very well from where my camera is, but I don't think I'm going to get to all of these, but this is what I'm going to focus on in January. Are any of these books on your radar? Things that you're thinking of reading anytime soon? Are you currently working on the Wheel of Time series? And if you are, where are you at in the series? Are you one of those people that can just go through each book one after the other, or do you like to take breaks in between too? Let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye!